What's going on, guys? It's Steve. So I'm kind of right now. I'm kind of not blown away, but a little shocked. Okay, because Derrick Rose is having conversations to join the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I've been reading articles about it, and a lot of people are saying he's not going to help out. The Cavaliers beat the Golden State Warriors and all this nonsense. But before we even get there, if you think about it, it's really sad what happened to Derrick Rose. This guy went from 2000, well, 2000, I think he was drafted in '08, right? '08, I think either '08 or '09. In '08, he was one of the brightest young stars in this league. Everyone knew he was going to be something special. Then the 2010-2011 season, the youngest MVP in NBA history, he leads the Chicago Bulls to the conference finals. He's at the top of the NBA. He signs a deal with Adidas. He's touring in Asia and in South America and Canada and the United States. He's one of the faces of the league. He was up there with Kobe, LeBron, D. Wade, Melo, Dwight Howard at that time, in terms of jersey sales and just media attention and media hype in the first place, right? So he's up there with those players. But then when you look at him now, people don't even give him respect now, and it's kind of sad because he went from one of the greatest players in this game to just a solid everyday point guard. But to be honest, what did he average last season? 17, 16, 18 points per game? I'd say like 16 points per game. Okay, he's still a really good player. He's still better than most point guards. Obviously, he's nowhere near the elite guards right now, like Steph Curry, Dame Dollar, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and the list goes on. He's not up there with them, but he's still a pretty good point guard. Okay, he had a pretty solid season with the Knicks. He stayed healthy for the most part, but for people to sit there and say he's not even going to help out the Cleveland Cavaliers is complete nonsense. For people to really sit there and act like he's not going to help out the Cavaliers is complete nonsense. Because think about this. If you start with Kyrie Irving, if you're starting lineup, because it would be silly to have him come off the bench, because just hear this out, because your team is going to be deep. You have Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose at the 2. I know he's small, but think about this. He's a pretty solid defender, okay? And let's say they go to the finals and they play against the Golden State Warriors. Who's he going to be guarding? Klay Thompson. But you can put Kyrie Irving on Klay Thompson and put Derrick Rose on Stephen Curry, because Derrick Rose can stay in front of him. Derrick Rose is a pretty solid defender. So you can have Kyrie Irving at the 1, Derrick Rose at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Kevin Love at the 4, and then Double T at the 5. Now, your rotations, you have JR, you have Amon, okay? And then let's say you want to bring Kyrie off the floor and LeBron off the floor, and you're worried about, look, how are you going to make plays if it's just Kevin Love? Because let's be real, J.R. Smith, he's solid. He can't really play make. Amon Shumpert, you don't even want the ball in his hands. He's there for defense, right? So you can have Derrick Rose be that flexibility guy. Meaning, if you want to take Kyrie, let's say they start the game out and around the, let's say, 7 to 6 minute mark in the first quarter, you take Derrick Rose out and you leave Kyrie and the rest of the big three on the floor and put in J.R. Smith. Now, let's say you want 2 minutes left in the first quarter, you want to take Kyrie Irving out and LeBron out to give them some rest. You put Derrick Rose back in. Now you have the playmaking ability. You have the ability of someone to score 20 points per game. Heck, he can still explode for 30. Very rare, but he can give you at least 20 on any given night. Okay, you have the playmaking ability. You have the pick and roll ability. You have the IQ, the experience. Okay, the veteran experience. I mean, come on. So for people to sit there and say it would make no difference against the Golden State Warriors, it's complete nonsense. Because that's why the Cavaliers got destroyed, because their offense is just lacking, because Kyrie and LeBron were the only ones that could create on that team. They're the only two players that can create for themselves, and LeBron's really the only one that can create for other people. So once LeBron comes off the floor, it's just iso ball, okay? You got Kyrie isolating. You have Kevin Love in the low post isolating, or he's hanging on the wing. And then if Kyrie's off the floor and it's just Kevin Love in there, and LeBron, if Kyrie and LeBron are off the floor and it's just Kevin Love in there, yeah, you can just bring the ball down the court, pass it down low to Kevin Love in the low post, but the defense is going to adapt to that. Okay, so there's no playmaking. It's just pure isolating, and you have no scoring. But if you have Derrick Rose to be on the floor with Kevin Love while Kyrie and LeBron are resting, you not only have the scoring from Kevin Love and the rebounding from Kevin Love, you have the scoring from Derrick Rose, and you have the playmaking ability because D Rose, he can pass, he can shoot the mid-range jump shot, he could play defense on top of that. He's good at the pick and roll, something with double T, which is Tristan Thompson obviously relies on. Okay, he can find Kevin Love to spot up in the wing or in the corner or at the top of the key. He can play pick and roll with Kevin Love. You throw it down low to the low post to K-Love. This would be the perfect fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, is this going to put them over the Golden State Warriors? It might. It really might. And I know people are going to be surprised for me saying that, but the only reason why... Now, I know Derrick Rose is a shell of himself, but he's still a good player. Okay, he still has that experience, and it's not about him being able to be a superstar. It's just the fact that he can still give you 16 to 20 points per game on any given night. He's a playmaker. He can pass, and he can guard Stephen Curry in the finals. Okay, and if you start Kyrie and Kevin and Derrick Rose, that forces Stephen Curry to guard either Derrick Rose or Kyrie, and obviously Derrick Rose, he can still explode offensively. Not like he used to, but in terms of athleticism, he still has it every now and then. Trust me, I saw him play almost 82 games last season with the Knicks. So this whole nonsense fiasco that Derrick Rose doesn't help the Cavs get over the Warriors, that's complete nonsense, okay? If they sign Derrick Rose to this one-year deal, it will actually help out tremendously because this is what the Cavaliers were suffering from. They had no, and like LeBron said, they had no playmaking because he is the only one on that team that can playmake. When he's off the floor, it's iso ball. So what if Kyrie Irving is having an off night, which he did twice in the finals this year? So what if he's having an off night? Then you got to give it to Kevin Love, who played pretty solid in the first few games in the finals, but he's not going to do that all the time because of the pace of the Warriors. And LeBron understands this. So he understands when he's off the floor, it's iso ball. But Kyrie can go off the floor and LeBron can go off the floor and have some rest. And you can put Derrick Rose in with Kevin Love. So you have two potential 20-point per game scorers with the playmaker in Derrick Rose, with the veteran experience from Derrick Rose, with the IQ from Derrick Rose, with the pick and roll ability, the passing ability, the scoring ability, okay, the defensive ability. I mean, you're not going to have any liabilities with Derrick Rose because no matter what, you're going to have a potential 20-point scorer on the floor while LeBron is off because Kyrie, 20 points most likely. Derrick Rose, 20 points, I would say 50% of the time, anywhere from 16 to 20 points per game. Kevin Love, anywhere from, I would say the same thing, 16 to 20 points per game on a great night, right? So when LeBron's off the floor and you have a combo of these two players, heck, you can even go Derrick Rose and Kyrie at the same time. Have Kyrie play off the ball or have Derrick Rose play off the ball. Because Derrick Rose is also a threat on the offensive end. He may not be as good as he used to be, but he's still damn good. And people still respect him. Trust me, I've seen him play with the Knicks every single damn game. He still has that explosiveness when driving to the basket. I've seen it. It's not all game, every possession like it used to be, but a few possessions, and each game he plays in, he has a moment where he explodes in terms of offense. So I'm telling you right now, man, if the Cavaliers can pull this off, big move, big move. Now, it won't be as big as signing Carmelo Anthony or trading for Melo, but this way, they don't have to give up any assets to get Derrick Rose because they can just sign him because he's a free agent. So you get Derrick Rose, and then you get to keep Kevin Love. You get to keep Kyrie and the rest of your players because we all know they have no cap space because they overpaid J.R. Smith. They overpaid Tristan Thompson. So they have no cap space, okay? LeBron's taking huge contracts. Kyrie's making big bucks. Kevin Love is making big bucks. So they have no money. But now with Derrick Rose, this increases their flexibility, increases their scoring ability, and their ability to stay in the game when LeBron's off the floor. Because in the 2017 finals, every time LeBron was off of the floor, it was a disaster. It was a complete disaster because Kyrie is just a pure scorer. He can't pass. He can't create for anyone else. But Derrick Rose can score, not on the level of Kyrie anymore, but he can score. He can pass, he can play defense, and the most important thing that he can do is that pick and roll because he has a really, really good mid-range jump shot. So I'm telling you guys this right now. If the Cleveland Cavaliers sign Derrick Rose, this might put them over the Golden State Warriors.